Started.
We have Devin Smith.
Hi, Rusty.
Hello there. Well, you're going to sit here? You're welcome to sit there if you want.
Oh, yeah?
How much fun is it being in this offense with all the weapons you have, the pace that you're now playing with? How fun is it, and how different is it from last year?
It's a lot better from last year, just because everyone in the offense knows it a lot better. So we're not thinking as much, and we're just going out there playing full speed every play.
Hey, Devin, what goes through your head like when you break open on that second play and you know that there's nothing between you and the end zone but 90 yards? I mean, just kind of take us through that moment right before the ball arrives.
I just make sure I catch it. Make sure I catch it as run as fast as I can. The second touchdown that I had, I didn't think Kenny was going to throw it. And, I seen Philly, had a step in front of his defender. So I figured he was going to throw it to him. But I guess Kenny might have seen something different and threw it to me, so I just had to make a play.
When's the last time you dropped one of those when you were breaking open like that?
I can't tell you.
Devin, is it amazing? I mean, you've made some big plays in the last 2 years. I don't know if you keep count of them or not, but I mean, the one at Michigan State, the catch against Miami University, would you consider yourself a big play type receiver? What would you call yourself right now?
I would just say just a guy just love playing football and going out there and making plays for his team. Whenever they need me, whenever my number's called, just make sure I'll be there to make the play.
But is it interesting to you how you have made those kind of plays, how you have sort of stepped up?
Yeah.
Talk about that though. What does it mean to you to be able to do that? I guess.
Just all from my hard work that I put in this whole summer, it's paying off, and I'm just looking to have a consistent season and just improve my numbers.
Yeah, no, that's what Coach Meyer brought up when we were talking to him about you earlier today and stuff. Because you made these big plays, but they're always harping on you to be a little more consistent. Whatever. What are they most on you about? Is it route running? Is it? Tell me what those conversations are like.
Whenever I have a big game like this, this past Saturday, if I go into the next game and not play as well, they go jump on me about that. But I know that myself. I don't ever want to, have one game good and then the next game not be as well. And Coach Herman always talked about being an everyday guy, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I've worked my tail off all summer to be that guy.
But how long did it take you to buy into these guys? How long did it take you to buy into what this coaching staff was selling?
It really didn't take long. It was just, it came at us so fast. And I guess you could say, no one was ready for it. But, after a while, we started believing in the system and believing, what Coach Meyer was saying, and, everybody started to buy in, and it started clicking.
Devin, you guys are averaging about 45 points a game against pretty good Division I teams. What's the expectation when you're playing against a football championship subdivision team?
Just keep playing. Still put up the good numbers and still have the fast-paced offense that we have. Make sure we improve each and every week and get better.
If you score 45 against the likes of a Pac-12 school or San Diego State or whatever, what should you do? Does the bar have to be raised a little bit because of the competition, that maybe you need to do a little bit more perhaps?
We really don't. It doesn't matter who we play. We taking one game at a time. And just making sure we improve as a football team and as an offense.
Devin, everybody knows what kind of player Braxton is, and everybody saw what Kenny did against Cal. Coach Meyer has sort of, talked about the idea of when Braxton's healthy and ready, he still would like to play Kenny somehow, some way, a little bit. How do you think they can work this out when you have seemingly two pretty capable quarterbacks? Usually only one quarterback is on the field at a time.
Coach Meyer, he's a smart coach, so I know he's going to make the right decision. But for me personally, it really doesn't matter to me who's in. They're both winners. They both can throw the ball. They both know the offense. So, we're not going to miss a beat, whoever's in.
Can you guys try a two-quarterback formation somehow?
Yeah, that would be nice. I think that would work.
Is there a chance?
Have you thought about that play? When you think about all the great players who've been here, and that play's the longest in the history. Are you pinching yourself a little bit? Like what?
At first I didn't know until Coach Herman said it after the game, and as I'm sitting on the plane, I was just going through my head the touchdown that I had, and I just couldn't believe it. You know, just being in the record books here at Ohio State is unreal.
How do you guys have as much confidence in your backup? I'm sure there's been times in your career when the backups played when you're probably like, probably the last thing a receiver wants to see is a backup on the field.
You know, that just shows the hard work that he's put in. You know, Kenny, he works extremely hard every single day, and he takes advantage of every opportunity that he gets, and it's shown on the field.
Devin, is there any chance of there becoming factions on this team of like pro Guyton and pro Miller guys, or is it? Explain how y'all keep that all straight.
You know, we don't really talk too much about it, but
Yeah.
we know what type of player Kenny and Braxton is, so we take it as it really doesn't matter who's in, because we know that they're gonna get the job done. They've been trained well.
I was going to say, Coach Meyer and Coach Herman on Saturday night was saying, you know, when Braxton's ready, he's the guy. I mean, and everyone kind of knows that, and even Kenny knows his role. Is that right? Is that the same with you guys? I mean, y'all understand who the number one quarterback is when he's healthy?
You know, we do just because, you know, Braxton is the guy, but
Yeah.
that shows the character in Kenny. You know, he's not one of those guys that, you know, he comes in the game and does what he do, and then, you know, Braxton comes back and then, you know, he's pouting. You know, he's all for the team, and he shows it every day.
Hey, you know, last year in the Big Ten, when you did have that little bit of a swoon from number of catches and stuff, was it that you weren't open, or was it that you weren't being targeted? I mean, you know, when you talk about inconsistency, what are you talking about? I mean, are you talking about from a catch standpoint or just a playing standpoint? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, Saturday, there were a couple plays when you were wide open, you still didn't get the ball, you know?
Oh, yeah, you know, it's, you know, it could be for a number of things. You know, the way the defense plays, it could be from me not running my route correctly or not reading the defense right, ball not throwing right, or, you know, it's just a number of things.
Yeah.
Devin, guys in the NFL really get jazzed up about playing on prime time, you know, in front of the bright lights. You got this game against an FCS school, noon start sandwiched between a couple of primetime games. How do you get as jazzed up Saturday afternoon as you did last Saturday night or the coming Saturday night?
I think just being out there with my brothers, man. You know, we're in the locker room, we're playing music, and everybody just can't wait to get out there and get going. And I think, you know, that right there, just being with my brothers, fires me up every day.
What, along the lines of what Tim said about a pro Guyton and a pro Miller faction, how much does it help that those guys are both fairly likable? Because I know people will follow a talented jerk, but when you've got two talented players, if one of them were a lot nicer than the other, that's, I think, when you'd see the split Tim talks about.
I think it's good to have two quarterbacks that can get the job done. You know, with Braxton, you know, he can make guys miss and whatnot. And Kenny can run, but he can't make the moves that Braxton do. But, you know, they both throw the ball extremely well. They both know the offense. They know how to read defenses. And they'll put us in the right position.
And they're both nice, likable guys, right?
Yeah, they're both cool guys. You know, Kenny and Braxton are two funny guys that I hang with a lot.
Coach Meyer was speaking of how far your position has come, depth at receiver in the last year. He was telling us that all the guys that graded champion, even Evan Spencer didn't have a catch, but he raved about him. What's been the difference, I guess, with you guys? I mean, do you see how far you guys have come as a collective group, and what has gotten you there, I guess?
You know, just making sure we work on, you know, the little things to make us, you know, who we are, you know, this past game. We know the potential in that room, and everybody's contributing well and working hard. You know, we really worked extremely hard this past summer on, you know, catching the football, reading defenses, running routes, and blocking and all that, and it's showing.
Devin, it's just me and you talking and the rest of them listening. What does Kenny do when it comes to just throwing the ball? Is Kenny better at one thing than Braxton is? Is Braxton better at one thing than Kenny is when it comes to throwing the ball? Because I'm sure there's some sort of adjustment you guys have to make as receivers between the two of them.
If I had to say one thing about those two, I would say Kenny's probably a little more patient in the pocket than Braxton is. But throwing wise, I feel they both can throw the ball very well. Braxton may have a quicker release than Kenny, But when it's all said and done, they both get the job done, and that's what we're looking for.
Devin, thank you.
Thanks, Devin.
Thank you. You finally got someone to answer that question. Yay!
Know that too.